What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Tomatolito Show. And I'm on the road these next few days, as I mentioned on one of the previous episodes. By the time that this episode will most likely be posted and go live, most likely there's going to be a portion of the events that may have happened. Hopefully not. Hopefully I get to put it out there in due time. But if not, there's a lot of action. We just got done. We just got finished a few days back with the jam-packed weekend, an action-packed weekend through and through. Whether it was MMA or boxing, it was a jam-packed weekend full of fights and full of fun and action. This weekend is not falling any short, right? We got the big Canelo Callum Smith fight to look forward to. On Friday, we have Golovkin and Vera to look forward to. And there's a lot of other events taking place. UFC Fight Night. This is going to be the final UFC event of 2020, and the card is solid through and through. You got the headliner, which is going to be Geoff Neal versus Stephen Thompson on the main undercard. Is going to be led by none other than Jose Aldo and Chito Vera. You got Marlon Moraes in the card. You have Michael Pereira in the card. You have Anthony Pettis in the card, and Greg Hardy against Marcin Tybura is going to be a big heavyweight matchup as well. So UFC stacked this last card of 2020. This is the card where we were supposed to see Leon Edwards against Khamzat Chimaev, actually. And the supporting fight was supposed to be Geoff Neal against Stephen Thompson. That fight, that main event, ended up getting scrapped due to Leon Edwards testing positive for COVID a few weeks back. So the card got scrapped. We don't get to see Khamzat Chimaev fight one more time in 2020. Thompson Neal gets moved up to the main card, and the supporting will be none other than Chito Vera and Jose Aldo, which I'm very, very excited to see that fight. That should be an action-packed fight. Other than that, the card, solid, right? From top to bottom. If you look at the event, it's solid from top to bottom. So that should be fun for you UFC fight fans out there and MMA fight fans. As far as boxing, a lot of action going on this weekend. And other than Triple G and Serra on Friday, the gears get rolling. Aside from that fight, which is going to be on DAZN, the gears get rolling with Zurdo Ramirez and Gilberto Ramirez making his comeback. He's been gone for nearly 2 years. I believe 20 months has been his layoff. Gone for nearly 2 years. He's going to be facing a veteran fighter, a journeyman by the name of Antonio Lopez, nicknamed El Tigre, and they have previewed that card, or at least named it the battle for the Rio Grande, or of the Rio Grande. Decent comeback fight. It's just basically a tune-up type style fight for Gilberto Ramirez. Let's see where he's at. He's been gone for nearly 2 years, like I mentioned. A lot of it due to just wanting to get away from the sport, wanting to just spend time with his family, and the other being that he had contractual agreements and contractual issues, or disagreements, I should say, with Top Rank. So that ended up getting solved earlier this year. He ended up parting ways with Top Rank. He ended up launching his own promotional company. So he's going to be promoting his own events. This event's going to be taking place locally in Galveston, Texas, and at a local venue there. And I think Fight Night or Fight TV is going to be FITE TV. They're going to be previewing that card. Good. Stay busy. Let's see where he's at. Let's see if he lost a step. It's a stay busy fight. Not much to tell you about Antonio Lopez. He's a veteran. He's a journeyman. He's been around for a while. He fought Kelly Pavlik. To give you an idea how long he's been around, he fought Kelly Pavlik back in 2011, if I remember correctly, and he lost that fight by decision to Kelly Pavlik. And of course, if you remember, Kelly Pavlik was already on the downhill slope of his career around 2011. He was already on his way out of the sport, but just trying to stay busy. Antonio Lopez is one of those stay busy fights for Kelly Pavlik back then. A lot to look forward to. So that fight, we definitely want to keep an eye on Zurdo Ramirez. One of the other neat things about Zurdo Ramirez, if you recall, he's undefeated. He's 40-0 at the moment, and he was the long-standing claim, or he held the long-standing claim to that WBO title at the super middleweight division. Of course, the super middleweight division is going to be decided. The lineal title's on the line, and they even added a title to that big fight of Canelo and Callum Smith. Well, Zurdo Ramirez was in that same division. He's still an undefeated fighter, but he's moving up now. This will be his second fight at light heavyweight. He moved up. He vacated the WBO title. And the person who holds claim to that title today is none other than BJ Saunders, who we saw defend it a few weeks back against Martin Murray. So that's how that title moved hands. That's how that title changed hands. That's how BJ Saunders ended up fighting for the vacant title, ended up claiming it. He holds it on, and he ended up defending, or he holds it today, defended it recently against Martin Murray. And so that's where he's at. Zurdo Ramirez, second light heavyweight appearance. And who knows, maybe he'll be able to, we'll see him in there with the likes of Kovalev. Kovalev still active in that division, although people are saying that he's past his prime, especially after losing to Canelo, but we'll see. We'll see what that division holds. A lot of talent in the light heavyweight division at 175. Other notable fights, obviously, Callum Smith, Canelo on Saturday, but there's two boxers that are still on the comeback, right? Sergio Martinez ended up, Maravilla Martinez made his official comeback fight back in August, a few months back, and against a boxer by the name of Fandinho. He ended up defeating him. He stopped him. Now he has his second comeback fight against Jesse Koivula. Jesse Koivula, I've done a little bit of research on him. I had never heard of him before. He currently sits with a record of 24 victories, 7 defeats, 1 draw, and 9 of his victories by way of knockout. His last 2 fights have been losses. Most notably, the most notable names that he's fought, his last fight, he fought Conor Benn. We see Conor Benn, who's the son of Nigel Benn. And Conor Benn, decent record that he's starting to put together. He's starting to make some noise out in England, and before he hits the world stage, he's starting to make a name for himself and starting to be recognized there locally. So Conor Benn's one of the biggest names he fought. He lost. Jordy Weiss, another one that he fought back in April of 2019. He lost by decision there. He lost by TKO to Conor Benn, by the way. And the only other notable fighter that I saw there was 4 fights ago. He fought in 2017 against Samuel Vargas. Of course, we saw Samuel Vargas fight for the title this year in his welterweight division, was it? Let me see. I'll find it for you here. But that was back in November 11th of 2017. Now we look at Martinez, 45 years of age. He's on the comeback trail. He beat Fandinho. He lost all his titles in the lineal claim to the title, to the middleweight division, to Miguel Cotto. And that was back in 2014. He's been gone since. So he came back this year, 2020. He looked okay against Fandinho, of course, a lesser opponent. Perfect fight for him to come back against. This, I don't know if it's the same type of opposition as Fandinho or not. We'll see. Jesse Koivula, Polish fighter, so it should be somewhat tough. Usually, Polish fighters are known for their chin, for their heart, for coming forward, and very similar to what we're going to be seeing with Seremeta against Golovkin. We'll see how he looks. The other comeback fight is Felix Sturm. If you know, Felix Sturm is going to be back Saturday night. He comes against, he's going to be fighting against Timo Rost. That fight's going to be taking place in Hamburg, Germany, December 19th as well. So check your local listings for that. Check your local listings for the Maravilla Martinez fight as well. That fight's going to take place in Spain. Felix Sturm has been out for a while. He even served some time. He went to prison. He had some controversy and some issues with, as far as tax evasion. He had issues as far as doping, some of the claims, and apparently he did several months in jail. He ended up coming out, and then he got imprisoned again, and then some of the charges ended up getting dropped. Now he's out and he's on the comeback trail. Definitely seems like it's going to be a money move. He announced that if De La Hoya wants to come back, he's asking for that rematch fight against De La Hoya, and they fought back in the early 2000s, I believe 2004, if my memory doesn't fail me. So we'll see how Felix Sturm looks on a comeback fight. I imagine he's going to be pretty out of it. He claims that he's in better shape than ever. I got a glimpse of the weigh-in. He does look good. He looks like he's in good shape. As always, we'll see how that transitions in the ring. So a lot of big fights this weekend, a lot to take in, and we'll see. We'll keep an eye on these guys that are coming back. Two major comebacks. One that we hope that actually just sheds the rust, and that being Zurdo Ramirez, that he sheds the rust quickly in this fight and gets back on the hunt and on the trail to supremacy there for the 175 division come 2021. Of course, the Canelo, I'll talk to you guys about that on a separate episode, and the Golovkin fight, I'll talk to you about that on a separate episode as well. So a lot to look forward to, and take care of yourselves. We'll talk soon.